Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everybody. This is Mr. Shakespeare here again with you on the 20th of October 2022. I'm here with psychic medium and remote viewer Liz Cross. How are you doing today, Liz?
Very well, thank you. It's a little cold here today, but that's good.
Okay. This is going to be a probe into, so there appears to be some things going on in London, and I believe they're also going on in other cities as well, but I'll deal with the one closest to me, London. And we have these say no to oil. I think they're oil activists. They want us to stop using oil, and they keep putting themselves in the road. They sit in the road. They spray paint over things, damaging.
Well, they pour tomato soup over Van Gogh painting in the National Gallery. And for those of you outside of the UK, the correct pronunciation, even though in America we say Van Gogh, the correct pronunciation is Van Gogh. Okay, carry on, my dear friend.
It is, you're right. So this guy here is Mark Rowley. Apparently he's the Metropolitan Police's new commissioner. The Metropolitan Police is the central policing authority for the whole of London, with the exception of the City of London, which has its own separate police force. And he has said that he's going to take a tougher view on things than his predecessor, who I believe was a woman called Cressida Dick. She's now out and he's in. So let's ask him. Can we get a connection with him, please?
Yes, absolutely. I've got him here.
Okay.
He's already in over his head. That's so funny. I mean, the second I probe him, like, this is a common thing I'm finding now in the UK when I'm probing people. It's just like, now what do I do? Like, they just don't have a clue. Maybe because they're so new in the job as well. So sorry about that.
Right. Well, that's a separate probe, isn't it? Are they appointing people who are literally in over their heads? So, in other words, they're just a figurehead. So there's somebody else basically running it. Well, anyway, let's ask him the question. Why is he allowing his officers to not really take much action with these people who are blocking roads and vandalizing commercial premises and things like that?
Why are you not stopping people from vandalizing? We can't. They can't. There's nothing they can do.
I thought spraying graffiti and paint all over the place was not legal.
I thought spraying graffiti. That is illegal, yes, and you can arrest them, and they do arrest them. But as far as like blocking roads, there's nothing they can do. It's out of their hands. The law has to be changed.
I thought there was obstruction of the public highway. I thought that was an offence under UK, no?
Not when it's a protest.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. The police can only do what they are by law allowed to do, and they're not allowed by law to interfere with a peaceful protest, as long as it's peaceful. Now, we all know blocking the road causes a lot of mayhem, but then it goes into the legal definition of what is peaceful and what is not. His hands are tied. There's nothing they can do unless the law is changed, and government won't ever change that law. He said it's not in their best interest to do so, because this guy actually, interesting answer. He's saying it's not in their best interest to do so because they make money out of taxing people, environmental tax. His
Okay.
hands are tied.
So obstruction of the public highway is an offence unless you're doing it as a protest. Is that right?
That's what he was saying, something to that effect. They have no power to remove these people. They could if they would. He says he doesn't like the roads being blocked more than anybody, just as much as anybody else. There's nothing they can do.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah. It's, the police, because, they're my former employer, right? The London Metropolitan Police, Scotland Yard. I spent many nights in Scotland Yard running vehicle pursuits, 12-hour shifts on the radio. I mean, they can, and, that's interesting to me because we never had this problem when I lived in the UK, right? I don't know. This is something new. All of this,
We've had blockages before.
Yeah, the trucks block the roads.
Not just the trucks, but we've had different protesters, the Green Party, Greenpeace and things like that, and they were moved on. They were never allowed to stay and block roads. So what's the difference?
The difference is, first of all, it depends upon the road. It depends upon the jurisdiction. And they know their rights. These people know their rights. And the last thing that the police want is to be sued. We've already got, he's saying thousands of lawsuits against us all the time. We can't just keep shelling out public money on frivolous lawsuits. Their hands are tied. They can't do anything. Now, I believe not too long ago, somebody tried this in Florida. We should probe DeSantis and see what he has to say about people blocking roads.
Well, I believe I know what the law is in Florida now. They're allowed to run them over. So I think that's a slightly different version. Not the police, I mean the public. So if you block the road, then you're going to get run over in Florida. I believe. That's a little bit extreme compared to what the UK do.
I'm sorry to cut in there. Let's ask Liz Truss, because ultimately the police can only do what they are allowed to do by law. They don't make the laws.
Truss is still Prime Minister today. She still is.
So what can be done about these people blocking the roads? She's like, that's far from our biggest worry right now. That is way on down on the agenda. Those people are, even though they get a lot of publicity, they're way down on the agenda. That is not the most pressing thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the government at this time are not interested in preventing people from blocking roads.
Right.
I know that there are people, and this isn't just in the UK, there were other parts of the world where they were super gluing their hands to very expensive paintings. And what is so sad about that is the fact that if they did cause damage to the paintings, and I'm being told by Spirit that they did, they would never be able to afford to repair that damage, pay for the damage repairs, right? They just wouldn't. They would never. Who's got millions and millions and millions of dollars to pay for? They don't care. They don't care. So looks like the motorists will be banging their head against a brick wall until further notice. So unfortunately, this is nothing. It's going nowhere if the government aren't really concerned about it, and they're not. They're only concerned when it affects them directly. And right now, until they start blocking the roads around, them gaining entry to where they need to be, then they don't care. That's what I'm getting very strongly.
Right.
I feel like these groups are, what's the name of the group? Let's probe the group, because I feel like they're paid to do this.
What is it? What are they called?
Stop oil. Stop oil activists. Let me group them together.
Stop oil, yeah.
And where is this? This looks like Oxford Street, Regent Street.
Yeah, somewhere like that. Harrods. Oh, Harrods.
Harrods, Knightsbridge. Okay. Yeah, well, they're stopping people in their Lamborghinis from bombing it down the road, right? Some people are so wealthy, they'll park their Lamborghinis outside of Harrods, get clamped and not even care, right? They don't even care about the parking tickets. It's just they have so much money. So let me probe the stop oil. Why do you think blocking the road is the answer to, your stop oil protests? Because it gets the recognition that they need. That's why. They're paid to do this, by the way, guys. They are paid.
Okay.
They may not be paid very much. I feel like it may only be about 50 quid, but they're paid.
Who's paying them?
Who's paying you? Companies are paying them.
Really?
Yeah. Are they green companies? No.
Do we have the names of any of these companies?
Do we have any names of them? No, I'm not. It's not easy to pull names out of spirit.
No.
But they're being paid. I feel like some universities,
organic protest. If they are, I mean, do they actually believe in what they're doing, or are they just doing it for some money?
Or are you doing it for the money? They're doing it for the money. These people are paid.
So they're actors.
Basically.
So it's not a legitimate protest then, is it? If they're actors.
Well, no, but you'd have to then do an official investigation. Well, let's bring.
Liz, they can do that, Liz, and then they can call on you and just ask Liz.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm not a hard and fast evidence. Even when I've worked on, homicide cases, I just point the finger in the right direction. Detectives solve crimes, not Liz. Liz just tells them where to find the information, what they need to look for. I don't actually solve the crime for them. I mean, you can't just say, oh, okay, we're going to charge this person with homicide because a psychic picked him out of a lineup, right?
No, we can't. No. But what we can say is any Metropolitan Police detectives listening to this, now you know that they're being paid and they're actors. That means it's not a legitimate protest. We could pull them in for questioning under suspicion laws, and then find out who's actually paying them. And once you have that, then, then you can actually arrest them properly and then see how their 50 quid goes there where they get fined. Just my opinion.
There you go. All right. Well, so now we know that these people are being paid. They get paid a lot more if they go throw paint or if they throw tins of soup on paintings and things like that. They're paid a lot more. But these,
that's vandalism, and that is a criminal offense.
Right. But this lot here, they're only getting paid about 50 quid. But in an economic time like this, 50 quid is a lot of money over there.
Not in Knightsbridge, it's not, no.
Well, not in these people don't live in bloody Knightsbridge. Come on. Look at them. They're not Knightsbridge people. But 50 quid is, you can put your heating on for a couple of days.
Right. Okay. I just want to cover a couple of other things. Do they? Who have you got? Have you still got the police guy, the chairman?
Yeah.
What's his name? Rowley.
Yeah.
Right. Put him out till the end of March next year, please.
Okay. So March 30th, 2023, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Okay.
Is he still Metropolitan Police Commissioner?
Yes, he is.
Okay. What's the situation been like in London from a policing point of view these past 6 months?
What's the situation been in London from a policing point of view in the past 6 months? I feel like their budget has been cut. I feel
Okay.
like they're really struggling. They have gone way over budget. He's having to answer why they've spent out so much money, why there weren't cuts made. He's like, this job is impossible. They want more people on the ground, police on the ground, but there's no money to pay for that.
Okay.
What about the Stop Oil protesters? Are they still carry on? Yeah, they're still there. So nothing's been done. There you go.
Right. Has there been any altercations with the members of the public over that?
There been any altercations?
In other words, have any members of the public decided to take it into their own hands to deal with these people?
Any members of Well, yeah, they move them on. They try to move them on. And
Right.
and that's what the police can't move them on. The public has to move them on. But dragging them out of the road, I don't feel that they're going to charge them as an actual offense.
No.
So no physical altercations that he is aware of.
Okay. All right. I think that's enough for him then. And the team, thank you.
All right. There we go. Another one down.